when I read like gossipy magazines or blogs or whatever, and they talk about like, oh, this house in Hollywood owned by whatever celebrity, it has 6 bedrooms and 27 bathrooms. And I'm like, hi, welcome to Jovie's home. I post new videos every Tuesday and sometimes Thursdays. Today, we are going to be talking about the differences between American houses and Dutch houses, and yeah, what you can expect if you're coming over, some differences that I've noticed between the two. Please know, I'm not saying one is better than the other or, anything like that. I'm just comparing the differences. So if that sounds good to you, then why don't you come on in, kick off your shoes and stay a while. I'm really glad you're here. So you guys, let's just hop right into this video. And where do we start but the foundation? So basically, I was really surprised to find out that in the United States, all the houses, it's very easy to build a house or very quick because the framing is just done with wood. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy to just like throw up a house. You can build it in a week or so. You can have a fully built house. That is not the case in the Netherlands and in Europe as a whole. Okay, I know, but I live in the Netherlands. I own property in the Netherlands, so I can only compare to what I have. But anyway, basically in the Netherlands, houses are made out of brick and poured concrete. There's also like an actual effect that I've noticed, and that is that obviously the isolation is different when your house is made out of brick as opposed to wood. So the houses typically tend to stay cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, because you have a bigger layer between the inside and the outside. So yeah, I think this is something, again, more in Europe than in the Netherlands, but definitely I noticed it here. So hence it's in this video. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the windows. Windows open in multiple directions. So in the US, you typically will have a window and it just slides up. So if you want to open your window, you're going to just lift it up and then it will stay. Whereas here, and in other parts of Europe too, your windows, like if the handle is in the upright position, you can pull it and it will just tilt out or in. It will tilt into your house, so you can have like a small breeze, or you can put the handle in the middle direction and pull out. Like you can completely open your window wide open. One thing that I really do miss though, actually, if I can say, is in the United States, the windows, I've never had a window that didn't have a screen, like a bug screen, so when you would open your window, bugs cannot come in. And I miss that. I've actually never had a screen on a window living in the Netherlands. So why is that, you guys? Can you tell me if you guys know what's happening? I know you can buy things like, you can buy the screens and stuff in the summertime, but they're not the same. They're not like actual fitted screens to your window that just stay up all year round. I think they're more of like a temporary summer thing that you guys put up. But I really, really miss that. Next up, the next thing that I find actually quite charming, but also different, is the mail slot in your door. So when you are having mail delivered, or not when mail is delivered most of the time to your house in the Netherlands, and this of course excludes apartments and things because it's different, but to your house, the mail is just put through a slot in your door and then it's there. I remember the first time that we had this, we had a lot of trouble with our dog who would, he's a good protector. He was protecting our house from all the mail. And so then every time the mailman will put mail through the door, he would just take it and destroy it while we were at work. So then we ended up having to buy like a little basket that would catch the mail, and then he couldn't get it, but he destroyed that basket too. But anyway, he doesn't do that now. But yeah, the mail slot, I find it really curious because it's so cold and windy here. And yes, our mail slot has like a little wind protector, but I still do feel like when it's very, very windy in the Netherlands, the wind can still come through the mail slot. Like your door is not fully insulated, and I wonder why that is. You know, it's just a difference, and it's interesting. So I'm asking if anybody knows the history behind the mail slots in the doors or why that is. Let me know in the comments, because that's a cool thing to know. Yeah, typically in the United States, you would have a mailbox, and that stands. So the way that it is in the United States is the mailbox is like right next to the street. And it's funny because like the post delivery, the postmen and women who are delivering your mail, they actually, their little post vehicles, they sit on the opposite side than we do as drivers. So if you're Dutch, you would know what I mean when I'm saying they drive like British people. You know, their car, they're like on the opposite side. So, and that is because they're just like driving along in their car. They stop from house to house, and they don't have to get out and go around their car to deliver your mail. So they'll just like stop in front and pop your stuff in your little mailbox, close it, and move on. So it saves them a lot of time. Of course, here in the Netherlands, post people are with their bikes and walking around. They're doing it in a more exercisey way, but this is, yeah, the way that it is in the States. So it's an interesting little tidbit, I hope. Keeping in with the door theme, I find it very interesting that the doors of my current house, and I think all newer build houses will have this type of door system. When you lock your door, it doesn't just have one deadbolt, I guess, that goes into the frame of your house, of your doorway, right? What it has is it has one at the very, very top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom. So with one key, you are locking your door in your house in 3 different places. This is quite interesting. In the States, none of our houses had that. It was just, you know, you had one lock and it would lock, and then if you had an extra lock, you had a different key and you would lock it in like a 2-step process. Whereas here, it's you lock and you're locked right away in 3 different spots. So it really makes for a sturdy door or a sturdy lock. And I do think that homeowners insurances here do require that you have this type of lock in order to give you full coverage or something in case of a break-in. But it's an interesting thing, and I'm wondering if you guys are watching from another country, not the Netherlands, do your doors have this kind of triple locking system as well, or is that a quintessentially Dutch thing? Let me know. Okay, moving on to the bathroom section of this video. So I have a few different points that relate to the bathrooms, and starting out with the fact that most Dutch homes, including pretty large, spacious, expensive ones, typically only have one bathroom for the whole family. So you might have 5 bedrooms and just one bathroom in the home. So everybody in the family would share that bathroom. Of course, you do have houses with more than one, but it's like not the standard. It's not the norm. And it wasn't until we bought this house that we live in now that we were building it and we had say in how things were constructed that we ended up getting a master bathroom put in our own bedroom, and then we have the kids' bathroom in a separate spot. But that's not typical. So it is definitely a difference because in the States, it's not only that you have a master bathroom and then plus one, it's like houses can be like 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes when I read like gossipy magazines or blogs or whatever, and they talk about like, oh, this house in Hollywood owned by whatever celebrity, it has 6 bedrooms and 27 bathrooms. And I'm like, maybe that's why all that toilet paper is being hoarded, because you need to fill up your 27 bathrooms. Just kidding. But no, but I mean, it's like really, that's a little bit too extreme. Like, who needs that many bathrooms? But that is a difference. So if you're coming to the Netherlands, do be prepared that if you're looking for a place typically you will have one family bathroom. The next thing I want to talk about, it also relates to that family bathroom, and that is that family bathroom typically will not have a toilet in it. So you will have one room that is a bathroom, and then in another spot of your house, you will have a room with a toilet. In all the houses that we've lived in here, it's been one bathroom and two toilets, one on the same level as the bathroom and one on the ground floor. So basically it's like, yeah, if you're on the ground floor, you have guests, they will use that toilet, as will you. And then upstairs is maybe more for the family or whatever. So it has been explained to me that the reason for this is because yeah, somebody can be showering, someone else can be using the toilet, and you are in separate locations. I get that. I understand you. When that's the case, that's the case. But it did take us some getting used to, you know, because it was a different thing. My husband is from Spain. The bathrooms are not like that in Spain. It's more of what I'm talking about, like the States, where you will have your toilet, your shower, your sink, and everything in one room. So for us, yeah, it was definitely a difference when we got here to see that we had our toilet separate from our bathrooms. One thing that I found really interesting when I came to the Netherlands, and it took me, again, some time to get used to, was that I found the sinks in those separate toilet rooms so small, and I still, to this day, do find them super small. Because like you kind of can only fit one hand in at a time. You can't like properly like get in there and, you know, like wash your hands because the sinks are very small, because the room is very small. I understand it's a size issue, right? But I personally just don't even like using those sinks in our bathrooms or in the toilets, not the bathrooms, but in the toilets, because I don't feel like I can wash my hands well there. So I'm always going to the main bathroom to actually wash my hands in the bigger sink. But that is something that is a very small. And what's interesting to me is like I'm a short person. My hands are small. Like I'm not like a big person. And in the Netherlands, almost everyone is bigger than me. And I'm always thinking, how do you fit? Like I barely fit, you know? How do you fit in the sink of your bathroom, of your toilet again? Like, how do you manage to wash your large hands or your, you know, like, yeah, I don't get it. So let me know how that works for you guys, like from a practical standpoint. This is not meant as an insult or to offend anyone. It's like really just a genuine question. Kind of like when you're flying in an economy airline, like I can fit in a seat, my knees do touch the seat in front of me. But how does somebody who's 2.5 meters tall also fit in that? Like, I don't get it. Please educate me. Thank you very much. The last thing we are going to talk about in the toilet department is that the water that comes out of the taps in the toilets, of the sink inside the room with the toilet, is oftentimes only cold water. There is no warm water. So yeah, you're just washing your hands in the same temperature water as outside. This was a challenge for us when we built this house and we moved it, or like when we were building this house, we put a warm water link. So we actually do have warm water in our sinks, but this is not the standard. This is not the norm. But yeah, we've also talked about that in a previous video, so I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but do know that that is a difference. Like in American homes, you will have hot and cold water. And when I say hot, I don't mean boiling. I mean warm. You know, you have like a hot and a cold, and you can, or the mixer, you know, the hot and cold. But yeah, I wonder why that is. Like maybe a money saving thing, but it's interesting. It's an interesting difference that is a big one. The next thing that I want to talk about that I noticed as a big difference between Dutch and American homes, and I don't think it's only American homes. I think a lot of, like my aunt's house in France, her house is not the same as the Dutch house. It's more like my American house. My husband's Spanish home, similar. So this is like a quintessentially Dutch thing, I think. And that is the teeniest, tiniest stairs. Now, what you're going to see here in my house, this is because it was built last year, our house. So it goes with the more modern standards of how wide a step needs to be. In our previous house, the stairs were even narrower. Again, how do, like, I wear a size 36 shoe. I'm curious how somebody with like a size 40 or 41 shoe or even larger, how do you safely go up and down the stairs? I don't understand. You really gotta be on your tippy toes to get up and down the stairs. Yeah, I wish that the stairs were equal width all the way through, that you didn't have this kind of weird triangle shape. Because yeah, like now my daughter is learning to go up and down the stairs, so I'm constantly like, not on the skinny part, you gotta go to the fat part of the stairs. But I wonder why that is. That is like a big stark difference between all of the countries that I've been to and traveled to and seen different stairs. This is a very quintessentially Dutch style of stair, and I want to know more. So if you know more, tell me more, please. The next thing that I want to talk about is the location of the laundry facilities. Now, we have noticed in the Netherlands, you are going to have your laundry kind of located in one of three places. Your washing machine will either be in your kitchen or in your bathroom, or it will be in your attic. Like if you have a 3-level house, usually it will be on the top floor of that house. I think that like in the kitchen and in the bathroom, that might be a European thing because of the size of homes. And so yeah, if you don't have a place to put it, it goes in one of those 2 locations. But the attic is an interesting one. So my question is, why is that technical room or why is that located all the way upstairs? Because if you have a leak from your washing machine, like we did, not in this house, in our old house, but then the leak like goes down and it damages not only the top floor, but it also damages the second floor or the first floor, however you want to call it, the middle level of your house. So yeah, instead, like in the States or in Canada, my aunt in France, the washer is located in the basement or on the same, like the ground floor of a house, so that if there is a leak or something, it's not going to damage the rest of your house. I'm curious as to how that ended up, in the stairs. Sometimes I think about, like in my current house now, we have an under the stairs cupboard, and I think that's also typical in a lot of Dutch homes, is that on the ground floor you will have a cupboard underneath the stairs. That seems to me like a good place to put a technical room. And then upstairs in your attic or in the top floor of your house, then that can be more of the storage room. It seems flip-flopped to me, but I don't know why that is. So I'm sure that there is a very pragmatic and logical explanation for it. I just don't know what that is. So please let me know. So the last thing that I want to mention in this video is about the entryways of Dutch houses. And basically that is quite different than in American houses, or at least in the Southwest where I lived. So maybe it's different in Boston or in other cold places. But in Arizona and in California where I lived, also my house in Colorado where I lived for a little while, you would open the door and you're in the house. Like you are in your living room, basically. Whereas in the Netherlands, you open the door and you have an entryway, like a hallway. In older Dutch houses, usually this will be an enclosed entryway, like an enclosed hallway, so that when you open the door and all the cold and wind comes rushing into your house, it actually stays contained inside your entry. And then you take off your coat, your shoes and stuff, you put them there, and then you open your other entry door and walk into your house. I think this is a great thing. Our house here has that. Yep, we have an entryway like that. Similar. I mean, the wind can go up the stairs. It's not fully enclosed, but at least our living room is enclosed. So yeah, whenever somebody comes over or whatever, you open the door, it is kind of enclosed. But that is a big difference. And a lot of Dutch people have asked me in the comments, like, why is that? Why is that in American houses you don't have like proper entryways? And I think, now this is like my speculation, I'm just guessing here, but most houses in the US are going to have an attached garage. And people are going to be going in and out of their house through their garage. So we very rarely actually use the front door. That's if you're getting something delivered or, you know, you have guests or something, but people who live in that house are typically going to be opening their garage door with a garage door opener. That's garage is automatically going to go up. You park your car, you close your door, and then you walk in through your garage door into your house. Therefore, you don't necessarily need the big entryway. It's just a different layout and a different way that people use their houses. Here, the garages are more of a luxury, I would say. To even have a garage is a luxury, let alone to have one attached to your house, because you can also have a garage that is not attached to your house here. But a garage that is attached to your house is a pretty luxury thing, and it's a difference. But yeah, that's something different. All right, you guys, so those were my differences that I've seen between American houses and Dutch houses. I'm really curious to what you think. Also, please tell me if you were Dutch and you moved or traveled or visited the United States, what things about American houses surprised you? What are some differences that you've seen? I really like talking about these kind of cultural or habitual differences. It's not, again, I'm not saying one is better than another. Sometimes in terms of practicality, I might have a preference for one versus another, but that's just life, you know? Also, like, I mean, hello, have you been to Japan and used a Japanese toilet? Wow, why don't we all have that? I mean, anyway, you guys, that is this video. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you are safe and healthy, and we are still doing okay. A bit of cabin fever from being cooped up inside, but we are okay. So I hope you are as well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!